Hey, welcome into the Shopfix channel. In today's episode, I want to show you how you can easily remove popcorn ceilings, and it's a lot easier than you may think. I'm going to share with you all the tips and tricks that I know, so let's get right into this.
Shopfix, your free online source for everything DIY.
Okay, so first, let's cover all the supplies you may need when removing popcorn ceilings. So first and foremost, I would definitely lay plastic sheeting over the area that you're working at. And that way, it's just easier to clean up once you're done. So the main thing I'm going to be using on this project is a pump sprayer because we're going to need to get the popcorn ceiling damp so that it's easy to scrape off. And to scrape it off, you can use various things. You basically want a taping knife or putty knife. I have a larger 14-inch one here. The speed at which you apply water is the most important thing. So if you just use a small spray bottle, you'll be working on this project forever because the main thing is how fast can you put water onto the ceiling. That's basically the name of the game when it comes to removing popcorn ceilings. And so that's why I'm using this pump sprayer. I would definitely use a mask and glasses, and that's just going to keep you safe while working on the project so you don't inhale anything or get anything in your eyes. And so that covers all the supplies you're going to need for this project. So let's begin.
Home builders used to use a material called asbestos in the ceilings, but once the EPA realized how harmful the chemical was, they banned the use of the product in the 1970s. However, if you're still worried that your home and the ceiling could contain asbestos, you can always get an asbestos test kit to test the ceiling before you take it down.
Okay, so now we have the pump sprayer pressurized, and now we can easily apply water onto the ceiling. And so what we're trying to do is soak the popcorn texture. And you want to soak it enough to where when you scrape it, you don't get any like dust. So if you're scraping it and it's coming off in little pieces, or you're getting a little bit of like residue left over and you're kind of scraping that off, it comes off like dust, that means you haven't soaked it thoroughly enough. So if you soak the popcorn thoroughly enough, it will come off in one piece, and that's what you're shooting for.
The popcorn ceiling will typically turn a darker color as you begin to soak the ceiling, and you'll just want to make sure that you thoroughly soak it before you start scraping it off. As an example, I wanted to show you that you could use a smaller size putty knife and still work pretty fast with no problems. Once you scraped off all the popcorn texture that is visibly darker in color, then it'll be time to soak the next area of popcorn ceiling.
Well, by using that simple method, you can clear off some popcorn ceiling really fast. And so I got this whole living room done, got it all cleaned up, and so now it'll be time to apply on the new ceiling. And there's so many different options, so I want to go over them with you right now. So one of the most common is knockdown texture, and that's when you actually roll on drywall mud and then simply knock it down a little bit, and that creates that really cool effect that honestly a lot of homes have, and that's probably the one that I'm going to be using for this living room. But there are different options available to you. One would be to simply skim coat the ceiling and then paint over it, but you'll have to sand after you skim coat unless you skim coat really well. And I think skim coating does take maybe a little bit less skill than knockdown texture. If you haven't ever done knockdown texture, that's probably a little bit harder than just skim coating it, sanding it, and then painting it. Another really good option available is simply prep the wall like you would a regular wall and then paint it. And you have to use special primers and ceiling paint, but it comes out looking really great. And then last but not least, applying a different material onto the ceiling like wood. So that's a really good option, and actually one that I'm going to be doing in the entryway. So I'm going to be placing 1/4 inch sheathing or plywood material along the ceiling joist. I'm going to secure that really good. And then I'm going to use pallet wood to cover that up and create a really cool pallet wood ceiling effect. Well, I really hope this video helped you understand how to remove popcorn texture easily and what to do once you've removed it. If you've enjoyed this video, smash that like button and consider subscribing to the Shopfix channel. See you in the next video.